Welcome into Stugotz and Company after another football weekend. Week 2 in the NFL, Week 3 in college football. Taylor put it on the poll. Are the Chiefs tanking for Arch Manning?
Oof. Stop.
Just put it on the poll.
Stop.
Also, would the Bills have won that game roughly by the same score if they started and went with Mitchell Trubisky? Also put this on the poll. Were you rooting for Russell Wilson? Did a 55-yard field goal used to
Okay, slow down. I don't think Taylor can type this fast.
That's Taylor's problem.
45-yard field goal the new chip shot? I mean, I am so tired of field goals. Seriously. It used to mean something. Anyway, Izzy, what was the favorite game? It was such a great week of NFL football. The 1 o'clock slate was so good. The 4 o'clock slate did not disappoint. We'll get to Joe Burrow. He's out for the next 3 months, turf toe. He'll miss the next 3 months. We'll get to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. But what was the most entertaining game for you yesterday, Izzy?
Well, okay, so I'm going to pick a game that I hope Mikey A wasn't going to also pick because I'll get into my Dolphins issues a little bit later.
Yes.
I cannot pick that game as the best game because even though it had a punt return for a touchdown followed by a kickoff return for a touchdown and an interesting finish, can't pick that game.
Had all the elements, right?
Right. But I got to go with Giants-Cowboys. I mean, and here's the great part about that game. I only watched the second before Russell Wilson threw that pass to Malik Neighbors is when I turned it on. I was actually looking for, I think, Colts-Broncos, and it hadn't started yet. So I switched over to this, caught the end, caught the overtime, and I was very satisfied for what I experienced on that Sunday. That Neighbors catch was amazing.
Well, the throw was pretty good, too.
The fact that it came from Russell Wilson going out of the pocket to get there, unbelievable. And the fact that they still found a way to lose that game, even better.
Is that a moral victory for the Giants? Is that as good as it can possibly get for them?
In terms of good losses, I mean, this is your territory, Stu.
Well,
where would you rank this in terms of good losses?
Hold on a second. Taylor is shaking his head yes. Last week, we were saying it was a moral victory for the Jets. How'd they look this week? That was not a moral. The victory the Giants got yesterday was that Joe Burrow went down because I believe they play the Bengals this week. I mean,
are the Jets and Giants just going to keep trading moral victories week by week?
Yes.
Is that what's going to happen? The Jets got one in week 1. The Giants get one in week 2.
So, Stu, Friday I was listening to, I believe it was Evan and Tiki on WFAN, and a caller called in and said, Giants, this is a must-win. And immediately Evan and Tiki dismissed it. And they said, it's not a must-win, it's a must-look competent game. And I think if you're the Giants...
Well, they won. I mean,
the Giants, they looked a little competent.
Check. Yes. They did.
1-1.
I mean, your quarterback throws for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns and only misses 11 passes. That's pretty damn competent.
Right. But they still lost.
They still lost. But
they left too much time for Dak. I mean,
if you're talking about crazed fan bases, I don't think there's any more just kind of insane, maybe irrational group than the Cowboys fans. Maybe it's because there's so many of them. But they, week after week after week, if you talk to them, as a few in my friends group, they'll tell you every single week they think, hey, we're going to turn it around this week. This is the week. And so for them to pull that game off, despite giving up 450 yards to Russell Wilson, they feel great about themselves. Giants fans, they feel great about themselves. Must be competent. That was a little bit more than competent. So I think it's win-win. Should have been a tie.
Stu, you said that the Giants left too much time on the clock for Dak Prescott. They didn't leave too much time on the clock for Dak Prescott.
For Aubrey.
They left too much time for Brandon Aubrey.
Yes. Yeah.
What happened where the Cowboys get the ball and their target field goal line is on the other 40?
Yeah, no, I was telling Mikey A during God Bless Football, Aubrey would have preferred kicking that from 70. I mean, he doesn't care, the guy. I mean,
put it on the poll. Does Brandon Aubrey prefer it from 70?
Yeah.
Izzy, do you remember when a 55-yard field goal used to mean something?
Man, I
You'd
used
be
to
shocked
remember
if the guy put it through the uprights, man.
I used to remember thinking, man, as a Dolphins fan, I'm so lucky to have Pete Stoyanovich because that dude will hit everything under 50. And then when you get to 50, 50-50 chance. It's a pretty good, decent chance. Now, if you don't make that 56-yarder, I'm looking elsewhere. I'm immediately thinking there's got to be at least half a dozen unsigned kickers who can do that.
So what's the new chip shot? Is it 55 or is it 45? I feel like 45. If you miss a 45-yarder, guys are going to start staring at you on the sidelines.
Do you play for the Patriots? Because the Patriots chip shot is shorter than an extra point, apparently. Everybody else in the league, I would say like 45 yards, chip shot.
Yeah. Taylor, what was your favorite game yesterday? It was such a good week of NFL football. All those games were great.
I think my favorite game was Dolphins Patriots.
Yeah.
Just because
your boy Max scored a touchdown.
It was a big one. It was a big one.
It was the first one.
Yes.
Can we let the world know who this Mac is? Because a lot of people don't understand who
Mac Hollins,
and what
Taylor's friend from University of North Carolina.
Just making sure.
Yeah,
this was a big week for Max. Mac Hollins scores. Mac Jones has his return and wins with the 49ers.
Oh, that's right.
But with the Dolphins Patriots game, going into that game, it felt like both of these teams knew the importance. Like, we can't start this season 0-2 and put ourselves in a hole. You know the Bills are going to be consistent every week. The Patriots and Dolphins are two teams that should be on the fringe of playoff contention. And then there was that run in the fourth quarter, Malik Washington's punt return. The next play, Antonio Gibson's kick return. And then like 2 minutes later, you think HN wins the game, but he steps out by a hair
on that final drive. Yeah, and he knew he stepped out. He knew he stepped out.
So unnecessary. He had a lot of room there to be able to just check his feet and stay in bounds.
Yes.
I'll say this about the Dolphins and HN. Dolphins fans can't say anything about HN right now.
No, HN's good.
Best player on the field.
He's the best player on their team by far. And I think a lot of people got confirmation in this game where Tua struggled in the Colts game. He looked pretty bad. And there was that one play where he misses Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill walks off the sideline. And I thought Tyreek Hill was about to take his pads off right there when he missed him and how frustrating.
Remember the days when Tyreek Hill used to say that number one was different? Yeah, now it means something totally different.
I'll put that on the poll. Did you think Tyreek Hill was going to take his jersey off and fly to Kansas City after Tua missed him?
Anywhere. Actually, not Kansas City. I don't think that's a destination of choice either.
We're booing Tua. The Booa Birds.
It didn't take very long either. It was the second drive?
Yeah.
They were booing him. But I'm not ready for that yet. I want Mikey's answer on the best game.
Mikey, best game?
A peek behind the curtain. Stugotz texted us just before we started and said, I'm going to ask you guys what the best game of the day was. And when Izzy was in the Zoom, it was me and Izzy in the Zoom, and Izzy said, I don't want to take your game. I think I'm just going to take the one with the two worst teams. And I said, fine, but I'll just take the other one with the worst teams. And it turns out we were talking about two totally different games, because the best game to me was Carolina, Arizona.
It was
because
so good.
Those two teams, we tiered them. We tiered that game as we're not watching this game. Right. And I couldn't turn it off at the end. It was awesome. Bryce Young was almost back. Like, he was this close to being back.
Yes.
And then we just had penalty after penalty.
Wait a second. So first of all, I didn't think this was your answer, because for whatever reason, I just had the Arizona Cardinals as 2-0 and didn't think they were terrible, right? And so
it's a bad 2-0.
But I do remember,
it is.
I remember saying to myself exactly this. I said, wait a second. Weren't they on that nap tier that I created? Yep. I'm not paying attention to that game at all. I just clicked on this box score for the first time, and holy shit, Bryce Young threw 55 times?
Yeah.
They're going to
shoot
make
out in the desert.
Absolutely sure they know whether that guy is good or not, because 55 throws in the second game of the season is wild.
Izzy, they had no bit, like, the game was over. It was like, all right, let's just get to the end of the clock. And then they scored a touchdown. And then they scored another one. And then they got the onside kick. And you were like, oh my God.
They're going to come. Kick?
They got the onside kick. And then all they did after the onside kick was commit penalties and get sacked. That's all they got. So they had the chance.
I kind of like this. Every week, we should have Mikey watch what should be the worst game of all of them. And if it ends up in a great finish, he comes back and recaps it for all of us. And we're like, wow, that's crazy, because we didn't watch the second of it.
Nobody watched it.
Yeah.
I have YouTube TV, and you have the ability to do the multi-view.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it at all.
I had Colts, Broncos, Chiefs, Eagles going at the same time. And I'm sitting there, and my dad's like, hey, there's another game. Panthers Cardinals. Do you want to add it to the multiview? I said, no, not really.
Right.
Nope. Don't need to.
And never
just take
question
up
your
space.
fucking dad again, okay? Your dad knows football. In fact, I want your dad on next Monday's show. Can we make that happen?
Wow, can he be giving you a haircut? Wow.
No, I don't trust him to cut my hair.
What? He's a professional. What are you talking about?
He's not a barber, though.
He does Sam Rosen's hair.
Stu, I can't let this go because I feel like everybody heard us say that, and it's like, what
Sam
the hell
Rosen?
are you talking about? No, close. Not liking the multiview.
Yeah, I was just going to say, can we put that on the poll?
What is it you don't like about it?
Well, it feeds my ADHD. It's too much. I got 4 games on one screen. I need one game on one screen. Mm-hmm. I don't mind having ancillary televisions and other TVs in the house with the red zone. Red zone's usually on my computer. But I need one screen, one game. I don't mind having 5 games on, but each screen needs to be occupying one game. It's too much for me. I'm bouncing all over the place. I don't know which announcers are calling what game. I have no idea the thing where I'm dizzy.
And you're stoned. Yeah. There's no way you can pay attention to everything that's going on there. You could
Taylor.
be watching the top left box and the bottom right box is where the sound is, and you're just like, oh, wait a second.
That's not what's happening.
What's going on here? Yeah. Right. That's Stu's experience, not mine.
Right.
First Taylor, got to put it on the poll. Got to put it on the poll. Do you like the multi-view?
I'll tell you mine. Mine is just a little technical issues, okay? It's a little slow going from one sound to the other, right? If I'm hitting the up, down, left, right box and it takes more than 2 seconds, that might be my TV. Maybe it's my wireless. I don't know. It takes a little longer.
Right.
And also when I hit the back button to get out of, like, let's say I choose a game from the multi-screen, I want to go full view. When I hit the back button, it takes forever because I got to go back to the multi-screen. And then that's not what I really wanted to do. I wanted to go back to the menu to find something else. It's like, I got to hit that back. But it's just like, it's an old, when he was funny, Dane Cook, that was his name, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, he said in the future, like everything's going to be really fast and you go to the DMV and the wait's like 9 seconds. You're like, 9 seconds? I got to be at work in 3 seconds. That's basically my complaint right here is it just takes 2 seconds too long, but that's it.
My setup is to set up 2 TVs. One is on multi-view, 4 best games. You get to choose the games for the most part. I mean, there's a few that you can't combine and that sucks, but for the most part, you pick the 4 best games. Then the other TV goes on Red Zone, and Red Zone gets the audio. I let Red Zone pick the audio, and then I get the 4 games.
That is the best way to sort of test your mental like sharpness right there. Because when you're flying from game to game with the sound on Red Zone, and there's 6 games up, wow,
It's too much. Yeah,
it's a little bit much, but it's impressive.
I just watched the game with eyes open like this. Just like football information just feeds into my brain. I don't even know I'm watching it. It just feeds into my brain.
Are you saying you don't blink? Is that what?
I'm not allowed. I could miss something.
Mike Tomlin.
We'll get to the Dolphins and Tua and the DJ Lagway conversation that Izzy wants to continue to have. I think it's over.
Let me know when.
We'll get to it in a second. I was telling Mikey during God Bless Football, guys, that even though the Bengals lost Joe Burrow, he's out for 3 months. Turf toe does not sound like a bad injury, yet it is. It's weird. But he's out for 3 months, so you start doing the math. All right, mid-December. Can the Bengals stay afloat? Now, they did yesterday with Jake Browning, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but again, they were playing Trevor Lawrence.
But
so can the Bengals stay afloat and be in contention by the time Joe Burrow gets back? I believe they can. They play the Vikings this weekend. That's a game Cincinnati can win. They won yesterday. They're 2-0. They don't have Burrow for 3 months. I still think the Bengals will have a say in all of this by the time January rolls around.
Not trying to praise Chris Sims when he's not here, but he was on that game. He was definitely on that game. He said he thought the Jags would win outright. So there was a comment that I thought was interesting when whoever was dissecting this Bengals roster, saying that they were surprised that they didn't go after a more established backup quarterback given Joe Burrow's injury history, which I think most people thought he's not injury prone. They were just giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying he got rid of some injuries early, right? But now we seem to see, okay, maybe he gets injured a little bit. But I was surprised to hear that because I think Browning's a good fit for that team. I think he's shown a couple of things, and I think it's more important to have a continuity and a relationship with your backup quarterback than just have, a Joe Flacco available to come in at any given time. So I say that to say I think they can do enough. Like, they're 2-0, even though it doesn't feel like they're 2-0 because they've won by like 5 combined points.
They're a good 2-0.
Right. It still gives them a cushion here where they got the Vikings next, and JJ McCarthy did not look good last night. And then you've got 4 tough tests in a row: Broncos, Lions, Packers, Steelers. That's really a tough test. If they can get one of those 4 and you assume they can beat the Vikings, you're still talking about 4-2, 4-3 record at the time. Yeah. And, hoping they can coast along to 500, maybe a game or 2 over 500, and hope that Burrow comes back mid-December.
I think Jake Browning is a good backup quarterback because he comes in the game and he's not afraid to sling it, as you see by the interceptions. That, as a starting quarterback, probably gets you in trouble. But when he does have to go in these spot starts, and why he always has one of these performances, is because he doesn't go in there afraid of the moment. The next Bengals quarterback is on another team right now. And you saw him during Sunday Night Football when Michael Penix is looking like he's the future of this Falcons team.
Well, he is. You have Kirk Cousins going there.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins would fit in perfectly with this Bengals team. They already have the receivers. Kirk Cousins, make it happen.
How do you make that happen?
Right.
Well, Jameis Winston's a good one, too.
That was a Jameis Winston whisper by Mikey. The sports whisperer made an appearance. Thank you, Mikey. Yeah.
How do you make Kirk Cousins' salary happen on the Bengals?
You know what?
He hasn't thought that through, is he?
Yes, that's something for the eggheads.
Yes. I'm not the tax and finance guy. I'm the guy who's like, hey, this team needs a quarterback.
Go get
There's
that
a
one.
quarterback right there. Maybe a 7th round pick, conditional 6 if he plays a certain amount of games. Figure out the numbers, nerds.
I didn't know I needed this until I just whispered it. Jameis Winston on that team with that offense.
Right. Because the tax and finance guy will tell you our 2 very high paid players are at the wide receiver position, and they're both number 1s, and they'll make Browning look good.
Yes.
But damn it, they can make Jameis Winston look really good.
Why not Russell Wilson?
I need it.
Well, because he's an established starter with the Giants.
Be great if they traded Russ after that game.
Stock's never going to be higher.
They should absolutely do it today. Pull the trigger. Should the Giants pull the trigger today? Taylor, put it on the bowl.
Did you see how weird it was? Did you see how weird it was that how the Giants used Jackson Dart? It felt like they had packages for him, but it didn't really feel like they knew what they wanted to do with him because they made him go in there like he was a running quarterback, but then every time he just handed the ball off.
Yeah. And he had one stat for -3 rushing yards, didn't throw the ball once. It's like, why did you put him in there again? That doesn't make just to get his feet wet, just to give him a little taste.
They might be setting something up for like weeks later, and then we'll go back and be like, oh wow, remember those 3 snaps in week 2.
Right. Remember how flawlessly he handed that ball off? Now he's just gonna go whoop.
That's the game tape on him now.
Happen.
So Jackson Dart, who hasn't started a game yet, you have Dayball setting things up for future games when he does start?
I think so.
Okay.
Start the Dart.
I mean, that would be next level, right?
I mean, it would be very Brian Dayball because I don't know what level he's on, but it's not good coaching level.
Izzy, the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Patrick Mahomes he hasn't been good this year. Let's just call it what it is. He has not been good this year. And the last 2+ years, he has not been the Patrick Mahomes that we saw early on in his career. He just hasn't. Look at the numbers. I know they've won a lot.
That's my problem, Stu, is that you're looking at the numbers. And we kept talking about this last week. Like, last week was not considered a good game for him, right?
No.
Like, by the numbers. But if you watch the game, he did everything possible to get this team to win. Like, I'm not going to do the horizontal thing again, but he threw the ball from horizontal position. He threw the ball on the run. He threw the ball going left to the right. He did it all. There it is, Mikey. But he's the only reason they had a chance. And, even yesterday's game, who is it? Juju Smith-Schuster that wears 80 something for them? Like, that he missed them on the
Tyrod Thornton.
Thornton, excuse me.
Thornton, the guy he hit late with a touchdown to get him back into the game.
Right, but he missed him wide open earlier than that. And I'm thinking to myself, if that's Xavier Worthy, do you think that's right on the money? Because dude is so fast, and that's who he's been throwing to all offseason and all preseason. Or Tyreek Hill, or anybody that he's been throwing to in the past, right? So, yeah, you expect Patrick Mahomes to make all of those throws. But when dude is lifting the entire organization on his shoulders, maybe that's why he gained a little weight in the offseason, then I'm not blaming him for anything. Like, if you say he looks bad, he might look like he's doing too much. But Patrick Mahomes is not bad.
It's hard to say Patrick Mahomes was bad. It's pretty easy for me to say he's been bad through the first 2 games this year. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Izzy. He was 16 of 29 for 87 yards yesterday. Had a touchdown, had an interception. He has set the bar so high for himself that what he did yesterday doesn't even come close to meeting that, you know?
Yeah, and even when he starts with a bad game and he's down 10 in the fourth quarter, you're like, he'll figure it out. And so you're shocked when he does.
Less and less so. I got to be honest.
And the interception, this is why you can't just go the box score route sometimes. The interception he threw was, they were down 3, 13.
It was in Kelsey's hands.
It should be
the hands of his
Travis
best
Kelce
receiver
fumble.
ever.
Yes.
It was a
wide
Travis
receiver
Kelce
one,
fumble.
even though he's a tight end.
It wasn't an interception.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they were on what? They were on like the 3-yard line. If they score there and they go up 17-13, it could be a completely different game. The problem with the Chiefs right now is their best offense is Patrick Mahomes running. And that's like the furthest thing they want to do with him as your quarterback.
We go out of our way to make, like, that's it. So they don't have a running back. They haven't armed him with wide receivers. They haven't done. Patrick Mahomes needs all those things now. Like he does?
Oh,
because
not all of
Pacheco's
them.
a pretty good running back. He's there, okay? Worthy's going to come back. Kelsey got him hurt. Worthy's going to come back, okay? Eventually, Rice is going to come back. But Patrick Mahomes needs more. He needs Tyreek Hill. He needs all
needs
this
a
now.
little bit more to beat possibly
Something.
2 of the best teams in the league. Because what have we seen so far from the Eagles and Chargers?
I'm just saying Brady won a bunch of Super Bowls with Troy Brown. I mean, Troy Brown.
But he also had a time where we thought he was done. And then he wasn't.
Well, Dan did, right.
You're saying Isaiah Pacheco's a pretty good running back. 10 rushes for 22 yards.
Yeah.
10,
He runs
10
like a
rushes
crazy
for
lizard,
22
but I don't know
yards.
how good he is.
He really gets good at 20 carries. You might want to get there. I mean,
just keep handing it off. I mean, part of the reason he does good at 20 carries is because when you can hand the ball off enough, the Colts are in a pretty good spot.
are the Chiefs done? Just come on. Are they?
Hang on. Since you're going to do the thing where you just look at this box score, not say just look at the box score, excuse me.
I'm not just
you
looking.
look
I mean,
at
they're
the
0-2 in a tough division. They are.
But I just want to look at the schedule because I think they've played a tough first 2 games. And I do believe that they're going to have some gimme games in there.
And
And
they have the Giants coming up this weekend at New York.
Can we play win-loss?
I'm not going to be surprised if the Giants win that game. I'm just
let's do win-loss just
Russ
for 8
is almost
games.
back.
Because Giants is a win, home against the Ravens. Who's betting on Lamar Jackson? Like, who's betting on John Harbaugh coming up clutch in that game? That's a 50-50 game for me right there.
I think if it's the playoffs, I bet the Chiefs.
Okay, but right now, let's call it a regular season loss, 1-3. Okay. Jaguars, they win. I believe they beat the Lions at home.
Oof.
Because the Chiefs have a good defense. They can settle and beat the Lions. But even if you call that a loss, Raiders win. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then versus the Commanders. They're going to win one of those games, either the Ravens, Lions, or Commanders. I'm giving them one of them.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, they have Washington at Buffalo, at Denver. They play Danny Dimes. I mean,
right. But I'm just going through the first 8. Right.
I got it.
And if you go win, that's 4-4. They'll be 4-4 through 8 games.
Look at the second half of their schedule.
It's
look
tough.
at the second half of their schedule.
They're not making the playoffs,
schedule is so easy.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders.
I don't think you're betting against the Kansas City Chiefs. And Stu, of all people, you should cut them a little slack.
Really? Why? Why is that? I was ahead of the curve. I mean,
were you?
No.
So you want to bring Alex Smith back?
I do. I want him to get Arch, so Patrick can see what it feels like to be Alex Smith.
And you also said they were done when they weren't done because they won the Super Bowl. So just give them a second.
They've won twice since I said that. You're right.
So on FanDuel Sportsbook, the Chiefs are still minus 205 to make the playoffs, but from where they started, you have to imagine that's a drastic downgrade.
I would say next week, 2 weeks from now, at the Ravens or versus the Ravens at home. If they're 1-2, they're going to look at that as our recovery game. If we win this singular game at home against the Ravens team that probably feels more pressure to beat us than we feel to beat them, even under the current circumstances, I think they could win that game and just shut everybody up for at least 5 or 6 weeks.
Stu, any guesses what the FanDuel line is Sunday Night Football? Chiefs at Giants.
Wow, that's Sunday night, huh?
Chiefs at Giants. Russell Wilson. I'm going to say are the Giants -1?
No, way off.
Really? Chiefs are -4?
Chiefs are -5.5.
Oh, wow. The Giants are a gift. The G in Giants stands for gift.
So if nothing else,
the
world believes that the Kansas City Chiefs are at least a touchdown better than the 1-1 Dallas Cowboys. Roundabout, right?
Yeah.
And if you're better than the 1-1 Dallas Cowboys right now, and you have Patrick Mahomes, I think you're fine.
Izzy, put us there as Tua played good, as you pointed out. He had the big interception, bad interception. The offense started to click there for a couple of quarters. But you were complaining. You were complaining that you have a quarterback problem with it.
I don't have a quarterback.
By the way,
problem,
you're not going to get any sympathy here. Did you see Justin Fields yesterday?
Yeah.
And did you see this is worse? Okay, this is why it's so frustrating being a fucking Jet fan, guy. Okay, I just called you guy. All right.
He called me kid.
It's pronounced Gee.
I called Mikey kid before. I said just me and you today, kid.
Kid.
Yeah, I did. This is why it's so difficult. You think to yourself, oh, you feel a little bit better, right? Aaron Rodgers, he lost home opener Pittsburgh. No, he lost to Sam Darnold.
He lost to your ex. No, I'm no comparison, right? I'm not trying to steal your sadness.
Thanks.
But I'm in QB hell, man.
Yeah.
I'm in quarterback hell. As a Dolphins fan, I also want to get ahead of this, not get ahead of this, but just announce this too, because I was behind in the times when it came to allowing your fandom to be known, because I was very big on journalism and I have to be objective and all that stuff. And journalism school pounded that into my head. But now, given we've gone way too far with morals around the country. So it's just like, if this is the one thing I'm going to be okay with, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm okay announcing my fandom, right? So obviously a Dolphins fan, obviously a Gator fan, went to school there. I'm an absolute QB hell with these two, because Tua, what do you guys say when I ask you this question? What is Tua Tagovailoa particularly good at as a quarterback? What is his dominant skill, or the one thing that stands out from him?
3-step drop, timing patterns.
Okay. So that would be quick decision making,
yes.
Right? Okay. Taylor?
He's great at the 2-yard pass.
Oh, he loves it.
Mikey?
Using his weapons.
Okay. So now I want you to imagine what Tua's career would have looked like if he never had Tyreek Hill. Like, the whole concept of Tua was like, hey, he can use those weapons, get that out quickly, bam, bam. Now what? Like, what have we learned about that particular skill? It's not really a skill. It's a combination of offense requires this. I have the talent around me to get it done. And when I make that first or quick decision, it's there. It's available, and I throw it accurately. That's the bare effing minimum you ask for from a quarterback. Can you execute ex-coach's playbook? Yes, I can. Great. What makes you good after that? Because in theory, the backup can execute the coach's game plan, right, under most circumstances. What makes you good is you can make a play. You can take a medium successful play where you're slightly under pressure, turn it into a great play. You can take a play where you're very much surrounded by people, find a way to do something good. You can throw a ball in between, two defenders in such a tight window that you're just like, that's great defense. There's nothing I can do about that. Tua does not do any of those things.
He can't.
There were so many times yesterday where he's drifting to his left, which is his strong side, and cannot find anything. And he just goes out of bounds.
Right.
And I'm like, Patrick Mahomes would at least get 5 yards out of that. Find a way to do something. Make a play. You know what Tua Tagovailoa has zero of? Moxie. That dude has none. Like, when he is out there, I do not have any faith he will make a play with his feet, with his arms, nothing. And then within the offense, now he's just overthrowing everybody. I told you guys earlier this season, every play that he used to throw over the middle to Jalen, to Tyreek, it was always so high they had to go jump and get it. And it would take yak away from them because they had to go up and get it. Now he's throwing it a little higher. They can't even get those. So tell me what the Tua's good at. What is he good at?
Izzy, you said you're in quarterback hell.
Because I'm not done yet.
I realize that, but I just want you to understand what the difference is from what you have versus what I have.
Yeah.
The Jets will trade for Tua now. The Jets will sign Tua now.
But
that's the
then you are the idiot for continuing to be the fan. I at least have this number 5 pick. Was he number 5? This first round pick that's supposed to be something that in college people were talking about, like he's the next great thing, and he's not. And then you go to DJ Lagway.
Oh, we're going there, huh? We're still having that conversation.
We're
I just want to. Just a second on Tua here. Yeah. You are right. When it's perfect, when everything is perfect, 3-step drop, offensive line is blocking, no one is pressuring you. Tua could do that very well. Most quarterbacks should be able to do that very, very well. The great quarterbacks, what do you do when the play breaks down? What do you do when you don't have the 3-step drop? Josh Allen can do it. Daniel fucking Jones can do it. Bo Nix can do it. Just about every great quarterback, and I'm not saying those two guys are great, but most of the above average quarterbacks, and certainly the great ones, they can make a play even when the play that was designed, that was drawn up, breaks down completely. Patrick Mahomes is a great example of that. So is Josh Allen. So is Lamar Jackson. Tua simply cannot do it, and it's a problem.
And before I get to TJ, let me put a bow on the Tua conversation. So you're just talking about, okay, this season's going to be terrible. We're going to tank. Who are you going to get? Arch Manning sucks too. Like, he's been terrible this year, terrible compared to expectations. Why would I feel great about that? I went to an ESPN mock draft for 2026. Arch would be option number 1. Who would be option number 2? Lenora Sellers. What is he out with right now? A fucking concussion. Tua PTSD. I do not want that dude. Who's next behind him, Taylor? I'll give you one guess. K. Klubnik. Thank you. I knew you would get that. Yeah. Absolutely looks like he stinks. And who's after that? Sam Levitt from Arizona State, who 2 games ago threw for 82 yards and 2 interceptions against Mississippi bleeping State. So, yeah, I am in professional quarterback hell, and that's before even going to that DJ Lagway game against LSU.
Izzy, don't let DJ Lagway's 5 interceptions distract you from the fact that Garrett Nussmeier might be pretty overrated too, because he doesn't really look like that guy either.
Yeah. You can't do that to me. I'm not going to go all in on Garrett Nussmeier when I would pay everything to have that dude not on my college team, but on my professional team on the Miami Dolphins. Okay,
you'd rather have Nussmeier than Tua
right now. Right now.